After hearing this, did you feel annoyed? Irritated? Did it make your skin crawl? Like someone is shooting photons at your ears? Well, the primary purpose of a ringtone is to do that. It is to draw attention, to raise an alarm of some sort. I hated it, and it always made me go, when I heard it. Till a few years ago. Now, I love it, and I respect it. And this is the story of how and why I fell in love with the ringtone. Like any other early teen, I always had a curiosity. How does the world of older people work? One day, when I was at my home studying, or pretending to study because my dad was also at home, his phone rang. And he started talking to someone, his boss, his office colleague, the junior with long hair, someone. But I had questions. What do they do? How does businesses work? Why are some companies so big and some aren't? How do they earn money? How do they earn profits? So some of my attention diverted from the study, or pretending to study, to the call. And this started happening very often. Eventually, I started on my quest of finding and knowing more about the corporate and the business world. It's the little things, random incidents, smallest of events that you unconsciously overlook every day in your life that may change or shape your life forever. Today, I would love to share 3 business lessons I learned through my random little small things through my ringtones. They are not just limited to the corporate or the business world, but extend to our personal lives. It has helped me as a student, as a son, as a brother, and as a friend in socializing too. The first business lesson: workaholics are not heroes. Our culture glorifies people who work for long hours. If you work for long hours, you have the passion, you care, you are in the game. But if you don't, you're suddenly out of the game. The author of my dad's favorite book, Rework, which he talked in one of his evening calls, said, if you work more doesn't mean you care more or you get more done. It just means that you work for long hours. And working for long hours doesn't mean working more. As a student, I often spend time beautifying my notes, drawing stars, because it satisfied me by extending my study time and at the same time helped me overcome intellectual laziness at that point. People who work for long hours and have the same output as someone who works for less hours are constantly overcoming intellectual laziness. And workaholics love crisis. They create problems so that they can work more. But the real problem is they don't solve the problem. Because they try to solve the problem by just throwing hours at it, which results in inelegant solutions. Workaholics are not heroes. The real hero is already at his couch, eating popcorn because he found a better way to get things done. Second business lesson: culture beats strategies. I was always curious. How does multinational companies which work all around the globe in different regions with different people succeed? Or why does a company like eBay, who owns major market share all around the globe, fails in front of Alibaba in the Chinese setting? Culture beats strategies. It works for both organizational culture and the culture of the market you are in. You need to understand people. You need to describe people. You need to describe their culture. But Dad, how do you describe culture? Well, I found my answer on 14 January 2019, around 7:30, when my dad's phone rang. And he started talking to someone. On the call, he said, to describe the past of a culture, identify the hero, heroine, villain, and most importantly, the sidekick of the most famous tale. To identify the present, identify the power structure. Who owns the market, who influences the market the most, who controls the market the most, who has a better face value, who works in the background. to describe the future, get into the market and build it yourself. It works in our personal lives too. To build myself, I need to constantly question and reflect my thought structure. However, my thoughts are just not my thoughts. My thoughts are collection and culmination of the community I live in or the network I build in future. To reflect on my thoughts, I need to reflect on my internal culture. Describe it, analyze it, and prepare for launch. The third business lesson. Product market fit businesses don't succeed. Founder market fit businesses do. Which is the next big product? Which is the industry of next 5 years? Everyone is running behind the next big thing. But where's the next big you? When I was starting my student startup, we weren't thinking of a product that would sell the most. We were thinking of a product that we would be able to sell the most. For this lesson, my dad's phone rang. But guess what? I was on the call. And he started talking to me about my startup. He said, don't make a life-changing product. Make a product that changes your life. It should be meaningful to you. If you know the ins and outs of the market you are in, you don't need to sell the product anymore. Because you make a product that sells itself. You make it meaningful to the market. These were the 3 business lessons I learned through my dad's evening calls, through those ringtones. It's after you've achieved something that you realize the greatest advices you've ever received were given to you when you were not looking for them. When I hear that irritating pattern of sound, I don't feel irritated anymore. I don't feel annoyed. I feel gracious. I feel joy. Because I realize that curiosity can come from weirdest of places. You just need to be open enough for them. At the end, I would just like to say, remember, I, Sahil Dora, was the guy who started this TEDx with an irritating ringtone. Thank you, everyone. All the best for you. Thank you.